Let's get this going. Let's get the show going. Right, everyone. Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Lions Den Sport. Today, I'm joined by Asinia Byfield. Asinia Byfield? Asinia. Come on, man.
That's it. There we go.
Asinia. There we go, man. What a start. What a start. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, good, G.
Thanks for coming down, man.
Yeah, man. It's good. No worries.
Like, is it your coach brought you down today?
That's one of my trainers. Yeah.
One of your trainers.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jason.
Yeah. Thank you very much to Jason for bringing you down today, man.
Nice.
Well, what's been going on, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to be back in the UK fighting. So just enjoying that at the moment.
You were you were in America? You boxed in Madison Square Garden recently as well, didn't you?
So that was
That's mad. How did that come about?
That was crazy. To be fair, I think that fight I found myself a bit because recently I've been looking for fights. Me and my coach John, he's looking as well.
Yeah.
I come across that fight. It put me forward for it. Went through the purse and everything, and really it was just about getting out there rather than trying to get a big payday. Just trying to get back into the flow of things.
And how was the experience out there?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
That's amazing, man. So, Sonia, we want to talk more about you, man. Find out more about you as a person, and then what your future goals and stuff are. Which we'll come on to that, man.
Okay.
So, whereabouts you from? Whereabouts is your upbringing from?
So Reading, just down
literally
the road.
Reading way.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
So that's
born and bred Reading.
Yeah, born and bred.
Nice, man. How was it growing up in Reading, man? Because it's very corporate-y. You got big companies there like Microsoft, and you got Oracle and stuff. Yeah, you got all these big companies there. How was it growing up for you in that area?
Most of that's come along like probably since just before 2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's everyone knows everyone's business. Everybody's inner. It's one of them sort of places where there's not a lot of support that comes out of Reading as well. So it has its ups and it has its downs.
Yeah.
So but yeah, overall, yeah, it's just that town.
When you said there wasn't much support for people around there, what do you mean by that?
So where everyone's like on each other's toes, so someone won't come and support you because you might have had an argument with their friend's best friend's cousin's girlfriend's boyfriend. Yeah. So now that person will just resent you, sort of thing. So they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, you're doing good." They'll say hello to you. They'll say cool, but they won't come and support you. They won't try and help you take off in your business or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a bit. So in that sense, it's very shut off. There's not a lot of support that comes out of the town.
Is that what you found in your boxing? Have you had many people support you from the
so
town?
I found that in the boxing and like other friends I've got that are doing good and stuff. Yeah. It's just like it's impossible to get people to support you.
That's crazy. That's mad. But I guess that deep hatred, that sort of thing, stays, doesn't it? It doesn't go.
And sometimes I don't even know if it's hatred. It's just sometimes I think it's just he's doing that. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some of it probably is down to that, but then a lot of it is probably just ignorant. You know, when people are just stuck in their own ways.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But that was as you got on. How was it growing up in Reading? Was it quite a friendly environment?
It depends, really. I grew up in one of the more rougher areas in Reading. Obviously, compared to your London areas, Brixton, Peckham, nowhere near. But so I was in one of the rough areas, and over the years, it weren't as bad. It's bad now. It's worse now than it was when I was.
What do you compare it to?
So now there's a lot more murders, a lot more kids getting killed.
Really?
So it has gotten a lot worse, and it's silly stuff as well. It's not even like, not that I condone it, but like some of the murders in London is stuff. My friend got killed, so I kill your friend because this and that. In Reading, it's more just pathetic. So it's like kids they don't even mean to kill the other person. They're just trying to show off and stuff like that. And so there's been quite a few like young kids, like young teenagers dying over just silly stuff.
Have you spoken to these? Have you gone into these? Obviously, you're quite someone who's come out of Reading, obviously, but been quite successful in your boxing career. Yeah. Have you gone into your neighbourhood and trying to speak to these kids and give back? Yeah.
So I got what did I do? I built my boxing gym about 4 years ago. So since I've done that, I built it in my back garden. That it's quite big. ring, everything. I started doing sessions for the kids. I was doing a lot of coaching back then for the kids. And but I slowly it's just that support factor is just not really there. Do you see what I'm saying? So even when I was doing that, I had my set little class that would come all the time, but it never really got big enough that I could continue with it and stay on it. So I just ended up pulling out of it and just you know what, this isn't the place to do it. I've got to move somewhere else and do that.
What the boxing coaching? You couldn't do it in your house?
Yeah. Well, so in my gym, I had the facilities and everything to do it. It's not support. If you don't get support in a certain area, you just got to go, because I found that some of the people that I was training and coaching, some of them was driving from an hour away and then coming to do a class for an hour and a half. And then drive an hour and a half to get home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sat there thinking, well, I'm looking at the numbers that I got. If I've got 20 kids here, 10 of them are not even local.
Yeah.
So
was there no local gyms to them? Or was it just that they like training with yourself?
Yeah. So what it was, they wanted to come and train with me. They liked my style, so they wanted to come and get a go. Training, okay, well, senior box is like this, so see what he could teach you if you move similar. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of them would come down and just to be with me, basically.
Amazing. Well, that shows that you got some pull with these kids, right? They wanted this, saw something in you as well.
Yeah.
That you're able to teach them. What did they speak to you about their sort of background? And were you able to help them with anything?
Not necessarily, because the ones that was morely coming, they morely did have their head screwed on, or they had the parent that was on their case. And this is what you want to do. You like doing it, right? This is what you're doing. So a lot of them were already in that, it's already, the discipline's already been put in. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're already working towards their dreams and their goals. There was some kids that was naughty that I spoke to, and I see them getting in trouble around the way. I pulled them into the gym, got them in, but then it was hard keeping them coming.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? When they realise the amount of discipline and hard work that goes into boxing, it's hard for them to do that.
Yeah, especially getting them in there, because once you got if you've got a parent that's on board, then it's doable, because the parent just has to make sure he just gets the kid and brings them down. Just keeps doing it for at least a month, and then the kid will start to slowly fall into place. Yeah,
they say it can take up to 66 days to form a habit, right?
Yeah,
where it's good or positive. So if you can consistently doing training, or you're consistently getting up at a certain time, that good habit forms.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you don't train for 2 or 3 days, you fall into that habit. You would have known that.
Literally.
We've all been through that. If you don't train for a couple of days, very easy to fall into that habit.
Yeah.
How about, that's great what you're doing in terms of boxing coaching, and you're not carrying that on now?
So I've stepped back from it a bit, because boxing went quiet, and then
was it during COVID or?
Actually not saying that was when it happened. Yeah, in the COVID, that's when I really stepped back, and then we started just spending more time with the family, really. And then once the COVID finished, it was more, let's go on holiday, let's go do this, and things we just couldn't do. So I was in that mode for a while, and then we slowly started picking back up fights, and then now I'm just trying to get back in the habit of getting in the gym.
Get in the gym, man. Yeah. And we're going to come on to getting on about you in the gym. I just want to go back to your upbringing as well. What was it? How was it at home for you growing up in that sort of environment?
I've got what, four older brothers and one sister. And I'm the youngest.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to just get bullied all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever Mum, she worked nights, whenever she had to go to work, it was, I've got to do the washing up. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And then before you know it, we're fighting all night. I'm sat by the door waiting for her keys to go in, 7 o'clock. As soon as I hear that key go in, tears out. Mum, he done this, he done that. And she's getting off. Them lot hiding. Sometimes they've left before she comes back.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it was a load of wars. Every night was a war.
Wow, man. But do you reckon that built your character for who you are today in terms of a fighter?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was no quitting me then. There ain't no quitting me now.
And when did you find boxing?
So how I started boxing, I was just, see my gap, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can. Yeah.
That's where it started.
Go on.
So people used to. I've heard like about 1,000,001 dubs, cusses, everything about my teeth. And it just happened so much as a kid, yeah, that it got to a point where it was like, this has got to stop. So I was fighting before I could fight, getting punched up. Then I started slowly winning the fight. And I'm like, oh, I won that one. Then it's the toughest guy in the year. And then I'm fighting him. And then literally, that's how I basically got a name in school. Then I beat up one of the boys who was a boxer. His name was Brendan. Yeah, and he was a boxer. He used to box as well. So he was an amateur, like proper good boxer.
Yeah.
And he was like the hardest in the year at the time. And I can't remember what he done. We were playing football, and I'm sure he punched me in the mouth. And I think as he punched me, no one else would fight me, but punched me in the mouth. And I remember just being like, looked at him, and I was mad.
You get angry.
I used to do that when I used to get angry. I'm like, and then then we started scrapping. And then in the end, he walked away. So, and then everyone just started saying that I won. So it weren't really I won, like I whacked him up or anything. But yeah, he quit. I was still stood there doing this.
You got intimidated by. Sometimes, you know what? In a fight, all you have to do is make that face, like make that angry face, and that can intimidate people, couldn't it?
Trust me.
Yeah, man.
But they sit there thinking, whoa, is this guy gonna stop? What's he gonna do?
What age was this?
How old was that? This would have been year 6, so it would have been the last year.
Oh, so this you were fighting around that age? Wow.
Oh, I was fighting from like year 3, as early as I can remember. I went to like about six different primary schools and 2 secondary schools.
Just because of your tooth? Is that why they were just because of that? Really?
I used to get dubbed. Trust me, I used to get dubbed. Oh, I could fit £2 coin in there. Oh, a lot, mate. Oh. It just got to a point where I was just fighting all the time.
Wow. And then when you got to, so you were saying, so you beat up the kid from school, Brendan, his name was. What happened after that? Did you fight? Did he tell you to go into boxing, or did you?
Nah. So after that happened, then because that was the last year. Then I went to secondary school. I had a fight. I was meant to fight someone on my first day. Some boy just started on me for like no reason. Yeah. So we've gone to the field across from the school. We're all in there. Then I think that someone said to the boy that was meant to be fighting me, he's like, your brother's not going to get involved, you know. And he was like, what? And then he spoke to his brother, and his brother's like, that's Asinia. I know his brother. He's got older brothers. And he was like, I'm not getting involved. So you fight him. You're on your own. And then the boy just started crying and then didn't fight.
Oh, no way.
That was on like the first or the second day. And then on the 4th day, I had a fight in the school, and then it went after school, but the teachers broke it up by the time it kicked off after school. And then I got suspended, and I think they was going to expel me. But we just quickly, my mum took me out of school straight away. So I was in there for under a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. Then I went to Deanfield. That school, I managed to survive there when I went to that school. So because of that other boy I beat up, Brendan, he was already at that school. So by the time I got to that school, like, it was weird. He done it sly though, because I remember being like, Asinia and Brendan are the hardest in the year. It weren't just one or the other. So by the time I got there, it was like me and him formed like a bit of a union. And then then that was it. Then we was beating up all the other years above us.
That's crazy. And was he the one who took you to the boxing gym?
Nah. So I got into boxing late. I'd already left school. I'd left school. So I'd gone to the boxing gym when I was about 16, 17. And my mum wouldn't let me fight. She wouldn't sign all the papers we needed at the time. I'm sure you had to be 18, I think. It was something like that. And then when I then went back a bit later on, but I was fighting on the streets. And I had I had one fight where I was proper gassed about it. So it was me and 2 of my friends. And we was like going through town. And obviously Reading's small, so town's not like massive, yeah. So we was going through town, and there was this group of lads. There was like 10 rugby lads, yeah. We parked up, we've got the car. And one of the rugby lads, he barged past one of my friends. Obviously, we're little, we're skinny and little. These guys are massive, yeah. And he's barged past him, and And my friend was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And as soon as he said something, the guy just banged him. And then by that time, before we knew it, we looked up and there was all around us. Yeah, there was like 6 of them. And in that fight, basically, I ended up knocking out every single one of them. All 6 of them were knocked out on my own. My friend, freaking, by the time he got up, so the one that got hit first and hit the floor, by the time he got up, everyone else was down.
Wow.
And I must have gone home and I was bragging to my dad. I was like, "Dad, trust me, I knocked out all these guys." Da, da, da. And then he was it cool because I used to always tell him when I used to have fights, I used to always go home and brag to him about it.
Well,
Like,
why did you brag to him for?
just because he likes fighting and.
Did he fight himself?
No. He liked watching boxing and stuff like that. So UFC, all that type of stuff. So when I go there, that was my little way of trying to get him like, "Yeah, Dad, look, I've done this." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I've gone and said that to him, he done this to what he always done, just shrugged it off. He was like, "Oh, you're fighting these guys. They don't train to fight. They're just bums. They're bums, probably drunk. Go in a boxing ring and fight someone that actually trains for months to fight you, and then we'll see." And that's what he said. And one day of him always saying that, I actually went there.
What gym did you go to?
Before Reading Boxing Club. So me and one of my coaches, Tank, Thomas Jarvis. So we went to another place before there, and it was just a few, like no one was proper boxers there. So we was all boxing with no head guards, 10-ounce gloves. We thought this was boxing. So we'd go down there and we'd all be fighting. Freaking half the time, none of us had gum shields in. And so it started there. We was there for about 2 months, and then we was like, "Yeah, we'll go to the gym, but we got to get better first." So we was down there all training, and then eventually, like about a month or so, then we went to the Reading Boxing Club.
Yeah.
And then that's where everything took place from there.
And you had, I believe, over 40 amateur fights, right?
Yeah.
That's a good amount of amateur fights. How did you find the amateurs?
It was hard because by this point I'm not disciplined still. I'm still out and about causing trouble, being a hard-ass kid. So I was in and out of jail, getting up to nonsense, getting arrested week in, week out. So even when I was boxing, I can't say I was committed. Do you see what I'm saying? I was like, literally, I was doing the bare minimum, and just because I got heart and I'll fight, I'll just get up and just go, "What? Cool. Fighting." I'm getting out of cells and I'm going to fight the same day. You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot like that for quite a while, until like, I think it was more or less through all my amateurs. I don't think I really sat down and went pro until I went pro. I think that was a step because I got locked up and I was looking at a big sentence, and then beat the case. And then I was like, when I was in jail because I was on remand, and when I was in jail, I was like, yeah, when I get out, I'll put my head down, like, I'm giving it 100. And that was the start of where I got to now.
So I think we've missed a big part there. And if you're comfortable talking about it, why was it? When did you do your first sort of instance in jail, and how did that come about?
So my first one was, when did I start boxing? So I started boxing at like
16,
just gone 18.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so I was just messing about, but I went in the gym now. So I was like trying to go, but my mum was not having it. And they made me work on defence. So my mum goes, "Right, cool, I'll sign the papers if you teach him how not to get hit." And then once I come and watch and I see that he can spar and he's not getting hit or hurt, then she'll sign. In the end, I ended up doing like defence work like 3 times a week, for almost 2 years. So then by the time I was 18, my defence, that's why, like, I don't know if you noticed, but my defence is
very
good.
elusive.
Very,
very
get hit
elusive.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So and that's how I got the name DGhost. So my defence has always been at a very good level in sparring. I don't really ever take damage, so I could really fight like every day if I wanted. So then that was like by 18, then I would have started having my amateur bouts. I think my first sentence, I was 21. I turned 21 inside, so I must have been in there just before that. It was, what was it? It was only a little stretch, just under a year. And then when I got out, I think I fought yeah, so I fought the day before I had court. So I knew I had sentencing on that day, and I had a fight that morning.
Wow.
And then after my fight, I had to go to Oxford, and then I got sentenced the same day.
What was the sentence for?
That was for a load of stuff.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You said you were in and out of jail. Why were you in that sort of that circle? What was going on with you at that time?
I was just, to be fair, just had no goals, no ambitions. So I literally was just more or less doing what I like when I wanted, and obviously that breeds bad situations.
But how did that all come about? Is it just?
I'm not. How did it come about? It's a hard one. Yeah, I think it's just from everything, like from the fight. So I think I was fighting. It started out fighting for more or less, you could say, an innocent reason, where I was fighting all the time. But now I've gotten good at fighting. Now I'm confident. Like, do you see what I'm saying? I know I can handle myself. Then with that comes respect. Now people are like, right, you better not say nothing about his teeth because he'll go mad. And then, do you know what I mean? So I sort of kept getting put on a new pedestal, and then I'm seeing the power that I have. Do you see what I'm saying? And then I think you just get a bit gassed in your head, and then you just sort of go with it.
You seem quite an intriguing character to me. I've met you now. You're smiling all the time. You're happy, but then there's obviously, you said you've done stretches inside.
Yeah.
What was, obviously, again, you don't have to say, but you said you were reprimanded for one.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the one that you reprimanded for? What happened then?
So that was the one where, you mean the one
the one where you said that I have to change my ways now.
Oh yeah. So from that point onwards, so that was so there was the one in 21, and I got out. And when I got out for that one, I'm sure there was championships, ABA started. So I got out, and within a week I was fighting. So then I remember I come out, I started training, and I went to that fight. I remember I won that one, and they just robbed me on points, but I definitely won it. And then something happened. The guy that got the win, he wouldn't fight the person who was in the next round. So he then pulled out, because this guy that he would have been fighting next was like meant to win the tournament. But everyone was saying he was going to. So he pulled out. So then I got to come back into the tournament in that same rounds. And I've come back. I remember it was a real close fight, but because it was on his show, it was like his area. Like, I can't remember. I don't think I got robbed, but I think it was close. Like, it could have gone either way, and he got the decision in that. So then I literally just was, before you knew it, I was just back doing the same rubbish I was doing before I went to jail, and then in between that, what happened? Yeah, literally for years, just the same old.
You got to tell us what happened with the reprimand. But I'm intrigued to find out what happened with that situation. But it obviously was a big turning point in your life.
Yeah.
It was a reason why you said, you know what, I need to change things around. So what happened with that?
So there was a couple of us there. We were not in our area, and how did it happen? So there was a point. So basically, there was a lot of things that just went bad. Like, you know, when one thing goes wrong, and then it's like a landslide, and it just all comes. So it was over the space of a few months where one thing happened, it went wrong, and then there was like police helicopter chases. Then it was this, and then they were kicking off doors looking for a little group of us, and so we were trying to evade everything that's happening, but then because of all that's happening, it's causing other things to go wrong as well. Yeah. So it was like literally almost got like pinned in a corner sort of thing, and I think what happened is everything just went too far, like, you know, and you just feel so trapped. Yeah. It was one of those moments, and then someone got hurt basically, and yeah, it was just bad. Then what happened? And then obviously there was a few of us up there still, we all got arrested together, and some of us left as well, like during it. So some of us stopped when it got to a certain point and left, and then others stayed. So then what happened was they just put everyone together. So now it was just peak for everybody. But yeah, so we had so we got remanded for it. There was like 6 of us. We all got remanded. We was up in jail up north. Yeah, it was just a mad one. We was up there. We was people that was looking at like 25, 27s. Like, everyone was getting stung where we were as well. So we sat there looking at our papers like, bro, just no comments.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of them ones where it's so bad that you just got to just be like, no comment, and just, you got to just run with it. Because you talk, you just screw yourself. Two of us no commented, took the risk. Other 2 spoke. I think one other one went no comment, and 3 of us went to a trial. It was like a 3-week trial, some mad one. Yeah, and 3 of us beat it, and the other 3 didn't. So it was just one of those ones. We dodged the big bullet, sat there. It was crazy because not even the world, but the space that, especially with my Cody that I was padded up with, when we was all in it together, so we sort of like met up with these other groups, and it was me and him, if that makes sense, yeah? So for months before that, they weren't involved in anything. So it was just me and him. We were just going through landslide where the world was like falling on top of us, and we were just about staying alive, staying in there basically. And then obviously we got to jail and we sat there. I remember it was crazy. It was 2 weeks in. It was 2 weeks in on the sentence, and it was like I just woke up. I woke up and I was in jail. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around. I'm like, rah. I've looked up there and my friend's up there. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, bro, why am I in jail? What the hell? And he was like, huh? I'm like, no way. Then we sat there and he was talking about everything, and it was crazy. It was like I literally had just woken up. So wherever I'd allowed myself to get, like, I must have been dragged so deep that it wasn't even me, if that makes sense. It was crazy. And I remember when I woke up, and I remember everything, like, was just, I started like, wow, I'm in jail. Then I started having all the feelings and the emotions. Then I'm like, rah. Then I'm like, shit, my kids. Like, it was crazy. So I'd literally put myself in such a hole that everything that was happening through them months, like, I wasn't even there. It was like I was almost on autopilot the whole time. And
you literally saying when you woke up, you couldn't remember any of it?
I couldn't remember it, but I could once I sat down and I really thought about it. Do you see what I'm saying? It was almost like, yeah, literally, the best way to describe it is autopilot. Everything was just black. All I could see was black. So if we were doing something, we were going and doing that, and that's it. And then obviously there was all chases and everything. It was literally, it was like that for 6 months, back to back. It was unreal. Wow. It was a crazy roller coaster. I don't know how we got out of it okay and that. Yeah, it was a crazy time. And I remember just waking up and just being like, whoa, how did I get here? Shy. Now I'm thinking back on everything. Then I'm trying to work out how I allowed myself to get into that space. Yeah, then I remember just sitting there being like, right, I've got to beat this case. I've got to beat this somehow. This needs to be beaten. I remember reading the papers, we're going over everything, asking other people on the wing, like, what? So how much did he get when he got this? What, for these charges? What was he looking at? These men are telling us numbers. And man wants to just cry. I was sat there. I remember my missus, she stuck by me. She was there all the time. I remember when I woke up and I had that first conversation with her, and she was like, yeah, man, they're like, when I spoke to my family members about what happened between that 6 months, So I remember my brother, he said to me, he was like, yeah, you told me you was going to do it. And he was like, bro, I tried to stop you, but like, he was just like, yeah, you're mad. He was like, I tried talking to you. He was like, man, I'm like, right, is it? He was like, yeah. I was saying to you, I was like, bro, you need to like, boom, boom, boom. He said that day, he said, what did he say? He goes, yeah, I just left you like, I might not see you again. That was his words. It was, I might not see you again. That's what he thought as he left me that day. So yeah, it was crazy.
Did you know these people before the 6 months, or was it just that you've met them?
Oh no, I didn't know them, but I didn't know them. So yeah, I knew them. No, we all knew each other. We was all on the same crowd. So yeah, so
and that was a turning point for you. Was it that moment that you got up and you thought, if I beat this case, I'm gonna dedicate my life to boxing? Is that what changed for you?
Yeah, literally. Because I said to I kept saying to my Cody, I was like, do you know what? I've got like my dreams. So after that day, my dreams was still the same. So all my dreams, boxing, it was still happening. Everything was still happening. I was still meant to be this figure in boxing. And I woke up another day and I was saying to him, I was like, listen, we're beating this case, because if I beat it, then you have to beat it. But he could beat it and me not. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how close. Like, it was so, our things was like so entwined that if I beat it, he definitely beat it. And if he beat it, I could still not. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was one of them ones. And I'm saying to him, I'm like, no, 100% we're beating it, because my dreams are still the same. Like, nothing's changed. And if I get this sentence, then my that's gone out the window. That's gone. And then I kept saying that to him. And then, yeah, it was mad. My dream stayed the same. Like, even how I dream now, literally still the same. I've always had the same dreams.
What's the dream?
All the time. We'll see. I'll show you.
Yeah,
I keep getting close.
You keep getting close.
Yeah, I just haven't had that proper opportunity yet.
Hopefully, God willing, that
But
opportunity
it will come.
out.
It will come. The dreams are still there, so it was definitely gonna come.
Good man. So, obviously, you got out. You turned pro. Who did you turn pro with then?
Mickey Elliott.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So I had to wait for the case to be over, because obviously we managed to get bail. We got tag, and then while I was on tag, then we had to wait a while. Then we had like a 3-week trial. So that was all crazy. Trial went all the way. Obviously, like so we had to sit there, hear it all, watch evidence, videos, a lot. It's peak. The police tried to finish us as well. Like, they'd done some stuff that was illegal.
Really? Wow.
And they more or less they actually did get away with it, because no one would have gone jail at all, because what they done to get us in the first place was wrong. So it was crazy. So, but yeah, it was so we had that trial, and then that was the killer moment, was the end of it. So they basically said guilty, and then they went on to my Cody, and they was like, yeah, it's a real tight one with you. They went through the evidence, and then they was like, you know, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. I was like, not guilty. Then they went on to me. Like, this was the longest time ever.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The judge was on to me. She was like, on to me differently. She was like, what did she say? She was like, she was like, that's it, there again. Get to me. She said, Mr. Byfield, this one's very, very sticky. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know with you. I don't know. Wait there.
Wow.
Wait a while. Wait like 2 minutes. Yeah, they were like this. I'm sat there thinking, right, if they was like that with him, with my Cody, then I'm fucked. I'm sat there like, no. She's like, this, that, what you doing? And she started asking me like questions about my life, which she didn't do with no one else. And then I was saying about boxing, this and that, red-ta-ta. And she grabbed my papers. So I think my missus must have gone and got a load of stuff from boxing managers, boxing
References.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she started going through all of them stuff. Not reading them all, but I could see that she was going through and asking me questions based on them. And then she was like, okay, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm doing you a big favor, and if I see you again, like, I will remember this.
Wow.
And then she was like, boom. Then she was like, yeah, not guilty. I was like,
that was a big relief.
Yeah, trust me.
There was something on your side that day.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you religious, man?
I'm not really religious, but I say that, but then I do be like, yeah, I am then. But I don't go to church and all that sort of stuff.
It's something that you do, but
yeah.
Well, something was on your side that day.
Yeah, definitely.
Since then, obviously, you've gone into boxing. The one that I first heard of you about was what was it, Sammy McNess?
Yeah, that's the one.
West Ham boy. I think he was undefeated at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah,
7-0, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
About 7-0 at the time. And I just remember seeing the weigh-in, and he was very arrogant, very in your face, and you were very calm. You like how you are now, smiling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's really going at you. But he was obviously the home fighter, favourite fighter. But you went in there and you spoiled the show, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me how that all came about and how that was.
What happened then? So there was the big change in my life. So from that case, I got my head down. I started, obviously, as soon as I come out, I was on tag for a while. Started boxing. I stopped everything. And I mean, everything.
Was that easy to do? Was it hard?
No, it wasn't. That was hard as hell. I was broke. The brokest I've ever been in my life. And literally, I remember me and my missus, she's been gold through it all. We literally, because we were used to having money, we were used to having expensive stuff, like living nice. So then obviously when that happened, I literally come out, I took myself away from everyone else, and I literally just stayed in and at the gym from then to more or less now. Wow. And so times was hard. Obviously, when you have your first pro fight, you got to sell tickets and that.
Yeah.
Reading's not very a supportive place.
As you said,
so
yeah.
Literally, I was paying all my purses myself. But obviously, I'm broke. So I had to take out me and my missus took out bare loans. We took out like credit cards. We had to we maxed out so much. It was just a joke. Like we've not, probably like last year and a half, just got past all of that debt.
Wow.
From like 10 years ago. Yeah. Wow. So so every fight it was like we're having to pay for the opponent, pay for the show, all of that. So then that got them they've got them fights out the way quick, innit, to get me into the position for that.
Yeah.
And then we get offered a fight, and what happens? We get offered a fight for the Southern area against Arthur Herman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he was unbeaten at the time. I'm a welterweight, so I'm basically still a welterweight now. But I'm a welterweight. And
big for 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one would fight Arthur Herman because he was like 18 fights, 17 knockouts. No one would fight him. So I was like, yeah, do you know what? Let's take this opportunity. So I've gone up a weight to fight him. And obviously I'm tiny in there, but I had the height, so the height helped a lot. So, and I beat him. He hit me with like 10 punches in the fight. His face was busted up, yeah. Sorry, I'm skipping. So just before that fight, 2 weeks before that fight, my son passed away. That's Trayvon. So he.
No. Hey, sorry, what was that? How did that make you feel? What was that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I said it fast, didn't I?
Yeah, no, you could.
So my son passed away. They call it cot death because they can't explain what it is. But yeah, so just one night I was going to bed. I was in court sorting out some court papers because I was in court the next day to fight to see my other son, my oldest son, so my firstborn, so he's a different baby mum. And while I was doing the court papers, I was up, it wasn't even that late, it was like about 11, half 11. And then I've just literally gone to check on the kids before I went to bed. And as I walked in there, he was just hot. Yeah, it was crazy. I picked him up. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And as I picked him up, he was just bare limp. Like, just, I was like, shit. So I fucking screamed, obviously, woke my missus up, got him on the floor, started doing mouth-to-mouth station, all of that. She's got paramedics on. She's going nuts. I'm there trying to keep as calm as I can. I'm like proper working on him. The paramedics come, everything. Boom, boom. We get to hospital. Try to keep him going. In the end, they was like, oh, look, we can't stop now. It's just too bad. If he was to wake up now, it would be in a bad state. So yeah, so then they basically stopped working. So that all went on. Then there was loads of stuff with social services and all of this rubbish. Then they tried taking the kids. Then they tried saying that me and my missus done it. Like, there was a load of crap. For some reason, our next door neighbour said some rubbish, like she told the police that we heard them arguing, screaming and fighting. So then that made everything that they were trying to do anyway 20 times worse. So we had to go through all these battles, and yeah, it was just one tragedy, but then right behind it there was just like 30 other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, our family held together. We all freaking pulled through it. Obviously, so now that Herman fight, that's already on the card. So I'm already
that was 2 weeks away, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah. So now I had 2 weeks to pull myself into shape and fight. It's mad. And yeah, so managed to do it. Freaking kept myself together, kept myself strong for the family. Got to the fight. Obviously, my emotions are all built up because in my head I'm doing this for my son. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a lot. So obviously that fight comes. I box brilliant. Like literally, I box so good. He don't hit me. I don't let him touch me. I'm just hitting him, pinging him, playing with him. Obviously he's the bigger fighter, bigger guy, bigger weight. Really, he should be knocking me out. Really, he never even touched me. And then yeah, they gave it to him by 1 point, which was just unreal. If you watch the fight back, it's unreal.
Wow.
So that happened. That was a big, huge. That was a big knockback. Now then, I've had to try and deal with everything now, plus the loss on top of it. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, rah, I wanted to win this for you, and then this has happened, and da-da-da. I remember I didn't leave the house for like 2 to 3 weeks. I just stayed in the house, in the bedroom. Then I started to get it together, but I had to use boxing to get me through it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I still suffer with a lot of stuff now, but that's because I've never
mentally
gone through. Yeah, mentally, everything. Mentally, 100%. Your skits out. When it comes to like danger between like kids or someone getting hurt, say someone was there getting rushed, I just think that you could die, if that makes sense. So then I'll be over the top. Do you see what I'm saying? Where someone normal might just be like, oh, look, you lot stop, pull them apart. A whole skit's like, wow, you're going to kill him. Then I'm going nuts.
Yeah.
So mentally, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't fully, not necessarily fixed, but, you know, like a lot of people go and get a lot of therapy. I have done bits of therapy.
I was going to say, have you done therapy? Did you?
Here and there. But I'm a type of person that morally just gets on with it, if you know what I mean. I try to. My way of coping is to just keep going.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't like going back and sitting there because then you're really sat and you have to condone in it, if that makes sense. My missus, she's the opposite, so she likes to sit there, think about this, but then it's going to get her upset for the next week. Whereas I'll just be like, all right, cool, I'm busy, my schedule, I've got 20 things to do today. I've started here, I'm going to finish there, then I'm going to sleep, I'm waking up. If I finish early, I'm doing more. So that's how I've sort of just worked through it. So that obviously that fight happened. That messed me up again. That took me back a bit. And then, I just literally just got back in the gym, started training, went again.
When was your next fight after that?
It was like 4 or 5 weeks after that. So after that loss.
Yeah.
And then that was the Eric Ochian.
Oh, was that in London?
Yeah.
Mayfair, nice area.
Yeah, that was decent.
I went to ask you because that's such an emotional time you must have gone through during that. Hey, how important is your family to you?
Oh, yeah. Like 10-10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our family's so close-knit, especially my immediate family.
Yeah.
Like, because I've got a little girl called Rainbow. So we call that Rainbow. Her name's not Rainbow, but we call it Rainbow.
Yeah.
So that's, my missus knows, I always get this wrong. So after the storm, there's always a rainbow in it. So she was the baby after Trey.
Wow.
So we called her Rainbow, and it's crazy because she has all of those, what's it called? So she's just so happy. Like, she's always smiling. She never cries. She's so spoiled. She's bare spoiled because of she's a rainbow baby. She's like super spoiled by everybody. But like, she's that one where if you're upset, she will just always come and say the right thing all the time. Like, even if you don't show it, she'll just come and just be like, "Oh, I love you. I love you so much." Like, she's proper, like, yeah.
How old is she now?
So she's 5, 6 soon.
Wow.
And she come, so her birthday is 2 days after his. So it almost come on his birthday. It's mad, isn't it? Crazy. We had her quite soon, I think. We had her quite soon, so I think it was 2 years. 2 years after Trayvon. So she almost come on his birthday. That was crazy. That would have just sent everything crazy.
Yeah.
So that worked out good that she come a little bit after. Then I've got another girl, Tamaya. She's 9. And then Trissell, he's 10.
Nice.
So we're all in one household.
Nice.
And then I've got my older son, my firstborn son, and that's Trayvon. He's 13.
All in that all coming up to those teenager years now, right?
We're all getting there. And like me as well, so it's like, oh, even more trouble.
So tell me about that night when you boxed Sam McNess.
McNess, okay.
I want to hear this, man. This is interesting.
So we've got there now. Obviously, they're expecting it to be. They're just thinking, he's only had a few amateurs. Like, no one really knows.
And he was a Team GB international. Yeah. He was a well-regarded amateur.
Yeah, literally. So I watched a few of his fights, and I was like, yeah, you lot, I'll stop him. And I was like, what? So yeah, I'll stop him. Watch. And my coach was like, yeah, you'll stop him. So we was like, yeah, we'll take the fight because we know that we have to stop him to win that fight on that card. You have to knock him out. So I was like, all right, cool, we're going to stop him. I remember I was telling them, I told them everything. I gave a full fight analysis on it. And I said, yeah, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to box him for 2 rounds. And then I'm going to start sitting on my shots. And I'm going to walk him down. I'm going to bully him. And I'm going to stop him in, I think I called the 4th. I think it was the 4th or the 5th I called, yeah? And I'd done that on BT. Remember they used to have that?
Box Nation.
Yeah, Box Nation. Remember they had their little thing where they brought you in and they used to talk?
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Was it face-to-face show you did?
It weren't face-to-face though. Remember they used to have their show and they used to always just get randomers in or people that's fighting and then they'll just have them on there and just do like an interview live. I can't remember what they used to call it now, but yeah, it was on Box Nation. And I literally on there, I told them, I said everything I was going to do, how the fight was going to go and how it was going to happen. It happened exactly how I said.
Really? You're big on visualization and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Are you big on it?
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
For everything. Yeah, I've got I'm planned in my phone for the next 6 months.
You're planned in your phone for 6 months? What about what you got to do?
Yeah. Literally, I stay on top of everything like that. Yeah. And then so they had, while the fight was happening, they actually was saying about it on TV. They were saying, it was like, oh yeah, Asinia did say he was going to do this, and it looks like it's working.
How was it working with Frank Warren and the whole team there?
You know what? At first, it was all good. It was all good. Yeah, it was all good at first. I remember thinking that they work quite good. As they work quite good, as in like just being organised and having everything on time and everything set up. But then once I beat McNess, it just went downhill. Like the worst thing in my career was probably winning that fight. I think me winning that fight against McNess sent my career to shites.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I weren't supposed to win that fight, so when I won that fight, it messed with a lot of their heads. So I think Warren was just, he was, I don't know. But basically that fight, was a winner stays on. So whoever wins gets the contract.
Did he give you a contract?
But yeah. So it was a 3-fight contract, yeah.
Amazing.
So obviously I've won it. I've got this contract. I'm trying to contact him. He's not replying. Not replying to managers, not replying to nothing, yeah, for like 2 months. We're like, wow, I'm meant to be fighting soon. And then he what's it called? Nothing. We ain't heard nothing. Boom, boom. My coach so my manager at the time, Mickey, he goes, oh, don't worry though, I put a thing in the contract. If nothing happens within 3 months, I have to fight within 3 months, otherwise the contract's void. Yeah. So he goes, I'll put that in there just in case. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool then. So I haven't got long then, need to be ready. So I was fight ready. Then I think he got hold of him in the end and said to him, yeah, what's happening? Da-da-da. And he just didn't want to work with me. Like, he just didn't want to know at all. And then when Mickey's been like putting pressure onto him, he was like, all right, cool. We'll give you this person, yeah? What, would he fight him? I think it was like Liam Williams at the time. So obviously Liam Williams was like number one.
Yeah.
At that time.
Was he super middleweight as well, wasn't he?
No, but he was super welter at this point.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'll give him. So he's obviously thinking we're going to say no. So we're like, yeah, go on then, we'll have it. Go on then, boom, boom. Now purse bids come. It's like, Liam Williams, like, I don't want to fight him. So he pulls out. He's like, all right, well, we'll give him Joe Pigford, yeah? Joe Pigford. And I was like, yeah, we'll have him, yeah. And then everyone kept bottling it. They bowled it, then he bowled it. He just wanted me off. He just wanted me to get beat by one of them so that he could just be like, yeah, I'm done with you, sort of thing. But none of his guys, everyone that he suggested to put me in there with that he thought would beat me or was higher up, they all said no. So now it was just, then he just left me on the shelf. And then word comes around now, as time goes on, word comes out that Sam McNess left him. So he dropped it. I think he fired his trainer, which was one of Box Nation, which was Mark Tibbs at the time. Yeah. And I think he used to do a lot of work with Box Nation's fighters. I think he still does. At the time, he used to do a lot
at the time
of work.
He did,
So, so I think Sam fired him, and then, I think he left Box Nation completely. And I remember being like, Frank's definitely pissed because Sam used to sell a lot of tickets. So on our fight, he had like 3/4 of the whole venue. Like,
how big was the venue?
Mad.
What was the?
It was Copper Box. I'm not sure how big it is. I'm not sure how much it seats. But he sold a lot. He had West Ham's coach. He had West Ham's manager, and like friggin' like 6 or 7 of their teammates friggin' ringside.
No way.
Yeah, like he had a lot of support. Like he sold tickets. 100%.
How was that going into the atmosphere?
Oh, that was sick. That was the first big fight, innit? That was because the first one out of York Hall. So that one was, that was sick. I remember coming out and just being like, it was my time. It was my performance. It was my crowd.
Yeah, wow. After you say your crowd, they didn't really see that afterwards, did they? It went absolute. You were celebrating in the ring, and they were chucking all sorts.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. They was kicking off. It turns out through the fight. So while the fight was going on, they was kicking off. As soon as I started taking over, they was all kicking off, throwing stuff down at my fans at ringside, and then literally by the time I come out, because I done that on the ring, and that's what that's what Frank Warren's team was trying to say incited the riot. So they tried to get me done for inciting a riot because I'd done that, yeah.
And that's the West Ham sign, right?
Yeah, the hammers. But when you watch the videos, before I even get up there on the ring, the fans are already making their way down, and you can see it because it just looks like a swarm. Like you could just see, ooh. So they're already coming. By the time I get and do this, they've actually got to my fans. So the fight happens like literally. I get down, and you see me on TV watching it straight away. So they've already run from like all at the top. They've all come down and they're all fighting. A lot of them.
Were your fans okay? I guess a lot of them were your family as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of them were family, but luckily the men protected all the women and the kids, so it was okay. The West Ham, a lot of the West Ham fans that were there were football fans. So a lot of them are like they're used to the fighting, drinking, and all of that. Yeah. So I think that's why. But saying that, a lot of Sam McNess fans continued to follow me even up to this day. Like they come to buy tickets for fights and Millwall as well. So they come and they still bought. So it was just a small section. Yeah. In a big.
Well, yeah. What we saw on TV, I was like, whoa! It's like I've never seen anything like this before. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
But obviously, as you said, there's probably a small section that were causing the issues there, and I guess the rest just wanted to go home safely. Yeah. So after did you stay with Frank Warren then? Did he keep you on? Did he get you that fight? Or
we basically just had to just cut our losses and just left. Like. So no free fight deal, none of that come about. No more Box Nation. Box Nation was putting out posts saying, "Yeah, we want you on our site." Like that was a brilliant fight. We love how you box. We love the build up. We love this. So it was like I got shot for doing what everyone wants you to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So the build up to that fight, if you go and watch it on YouTube, it's a story. Like if you watch it from before the weigh-in, first encounter, press conference. Training workout, then the freaking what's it called? Sit down bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then the fight, it's a story. Like there's people still call me up to this day, be like, yeah, imagine I sat down, I had 2 drinks, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna watch the Sam McNess fight. And I thought, yeah, let's watch all of it. And it's like a movie. You literally put everything that happens together. It kicks off at the weigh-in, then we're arguing here, then this happens, and it's like it's what everybody wants to see. Yeah. But I got penalised for it. Then they tried saying I caused a riot, tried taking me to court for that, tried getting me friggin'
Frank Warren tried taking you to cut.
So there's like listen, there's a lot that we'd have to go through about 100 hours.
Yeah, I know. I think there's so much to.
There's a lot, mate. I've sinned the mad thing, but I'm not supposed to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you.
In the boxing world, I'm not supposed to be there. Like even just the other day, I just won a fight. I was ranked 13th, yeah.
In
UK.
UK.
I won a fight, yeah, and then it's on BoxRec, and guess where I'm ranked?
13th.
13th. But the funny thing is, when I went to look to see where I was ranked, I was actually expecting to be ranked like 18th.
Who did you box on that show?
Oh God, I struggle to say his name. Emily. I struggle to say
Angel.
That's the one, Angel. Yeah, and but he's had 2 draws last year. Yeah. One late last year, and then so when a journeyman draws, that's a win. We're boxing. We know that.
Yeah.
If a journeyman has a draw, 9 out of 10, he won that fight. Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, how could I beat him and stay the same in the same place? Then I look at people on BoxRec that's ranked above me. But like, do you know, I thought like I've got the most active record for like fights where I've gone into people's back gardens. I'm fighting like 10 and 0s, this and that, like high level opponents. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the only one that's been doing that. Yeah, I've had a few losses, but keeping in mind, I'm going into their backyard. They're not stopping me. So 9 out of 10, what's happening? Because the only way I can win is by knocking them out. I'm not going to go over there and outpoint them. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then on top of that, it's a high level opponent. How the hell am I ranked 13th? And I've got people above me that's had 7 fights with journeyman. It makes no sense.
Who's the fights that you want?
I'm on anybody. I'm on smoke with anyone. Like, I don't respect or rate any of them. But in my division, in the division above me, in the division below me.
Could you go below you?
I'll go below me. Like, I sit. I'm not even big for my weight, so I'm a super welter. I could easily make freaking welterweight. I could easily fight above too because I hit hard enough and I can take punches. Do you see what I'm saying?
And you got that defensive, you got that great stuff.
Yeah, my defense is so good that then it gives me that extra. It gives me leeway. So I'm on smoke, but these lot don't want that. Like, it's a joke, man. Proper joke. And then so we put in to try and get a mandatory position for a title, but again, that's just another story. We have to see what happens.
Hopefully, you know, how old are you now? You're 34?
33. 33.
You know, you deserve a big fight. You deserve a big fight. Looking at the people you fought. Obviously, you had Cheeseman, Ted Cheeseman. Was that for the British title?
Yeah, that was British. Yeah,
British title. So maybe it's good to step down a level, build up the experience, and build it up from there. See what comes up.
Yeah, because what happened before is, so even for that Cheeseman fight. So after this is why I say that McNess fight was it was such a it was capped. That fight was capped. Because when I won that fight, basically, I showed all my playing cards, basically. So the people at the top of the sport are sat there watching it thinking, whoa, he just beat him so easy. Everything that so they're watching my fight before that and my fight before that. But I was getting so good in between the fights that they couldn't judge where I was going to be by the time I fought again. Does that make sense? So I was like almost doubling every fight. So I was coming back like 30 times better. And then 60 times better. So by the time it got to McNess fight, they think they're monitoring me, but they was just off. So by the time I had that fight and then got to him, I was like way better than what they thought I was. So then when I've got in the fight ring with him, what should have been an easy fight for him, he got turned over because they couldn't predict where I was. So in me doing that now, watch where the boxing's been around for decades, yeah?
Centuries.
Tyson, from back in the day, yeah? So now what's happened is, Raj, you know what? Look at my boxer ex. Asinia was fighting every like 2 months, 3 months. I've done that for 10 fights, clear. Then the McNess fight come. So I was just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. McNess come, destroyed him. So then it was, I know what, let's keep him out the ring. Yeah, we keep him out the ring for 2 years, then let him have that fight. Yeah.
Wow, so they kept you out the ring for 2 years?
Kept me out the ring. But check how they kept me out the ring. It's so smart. Like, no one could see this coming, yeah? But when you sit there and you look in it now, you're like, yeah, 100% they know what they're doing. So imagine this. So McNess, yeah?
Yeah.
Then obviously that thing took like 3 months, going on 3 to 4 months, yeah, with Warren to get out the contract. Then we're out the contract now. Now, guess what? The board's put a final eliminator in for the British title. Guess who it's against?
Ismail, was it Ismail?
No, Cheeseman.
Oh, okay.
So now this is like only like 4 or 5 months after McNess, yeah? So this is still fresh. I'm fighting fit. I'm ready to go. My confidence is over the roof, yeah? Cheeseman pulls out. So ain't this funny, yeah? So watch. Remember, Cheeseman pulls out. He's the first person to pull out. But he don't just pull out. He don't just pull out at the first opportunity. He goes to purse bids. So now purse bids and all of this takes like the space up to 3 months, yeah? Because you have to do your purse bids, then you get your venue, then you say, all right, cool, the fight's going to take place, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So they used the whole of the 3 months and then pulled out the fight. Yeah, so that's 3 months gone straight away, yeah? So that's 6 months now, yeah? Then the next person was it Liam Williams again? I think it was, yeah, because he was the same weight, yeah. So then Liam Williams now got put in there, yeah? Same thing, exactly the same thing. Purse bids, all this rubbish, pull out, yeah? I remember because I've still got it on my phone because I remember posting it because I was just mocking the crap out of them afterwards. Because, you know, on the boxing thing, it puts on there, isn't it? The British Boxing Board withdrew from bout with Byfield. And there was like 4 of them. Imagine there's 4 of them. And at this point, I think I'm like 10th, yeah? I'm 10th in the UK. I ended up going all the way up to six or fifth, yeah, and that's from people not fighting me.
Wow.
And that's how I become mandatory for the British. So now that's for the eliminator. Then someone else wouldn't eliminate me. Then they put me forward for the British. And then he wouldn't fight me for the British. So then they said, all right, cool, you're mandatory then. And then in that time, I've stayed out the ring for like just under 2 years, yeah? So in that time, check what's happened now in that time. Cheeseman's gone, and you check on your box rack, he's gone and had 3 10-round fights with experienced fighters, but that would test him and get him what he needs to fight for the British. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he had two hard ones. I can't remember. One of them was that good Jones from America. They brought him in, and that was a tough fight for Cheeseman, but he done good.
Carson Jones. Oh, Carson Jones, he boxed.
And it was a good fight. That was a good building fight for him. Yeah. And Cheeseman, he won it, and it was a good fight. But he would have learnt so much, especially in that fight. Yeah, he would have learnt a lot. And then he had another 2 fights, and then he fought me. So he had 3 10-rounders with high-level opponents in the time where I was just sat doing nothing, kind of a fight. The boxing board wouldn't even let me have get a journeyman in for a tune-up.
They wouldn't even let you have a fight in between?
They said what they say, and they were saying that I'm about to fight for the British title, so they weren't accepting any journeyman that we put in front of them. So then they wanted, so I would have had to basically have gone and paid like so many grand to get like a proper fighter in. But obviously I've got no promoter, so who's paying all of this money to just pull someone in?
Did you reach out to promoters to say, come, I've just done this, come?
By that point, we were trying. Warren didn't want to know. Obviously, he didn't want to know. He lost his main fighter and stuff. Yeah. And there was just nothing on the table for us. It was just do what you can sort of thing. So have to make do. Obviously, then the Cheeseman fight comes along now. Like, do you know what? Where I'm a very strong-minded person anyway. So I trained as hard as I could. I believed this. I didn't let nothing get into my head to try and like ruin it. They had me in the boxing board court. So going into that fight, basically my manager at the time was Mickey. I was managing myself for the whole camp, the whole fight, the whole Cheeseman fight, with me and my missus managing myself.
Wow.
Because we had a dispute going on with our manager, who was Mickey at the time. So basically, he must have basically just signed the papers for a contract saying that I've signed a new contract. But these times, I'm in America. So when this is all dated and when I apparently signed it, I'm not even in the country. So obviously I've put it into the boxing board. So we've had to do all this meeting and stuff, yeah? So this is another part 2 where they screwed me, yeah? This is all before the Cheeseman fight, during the build-up, yeah? Then I've now obviously proven, got my passport, got my flights, showed everything. So how could I sign this contract? I'm telling you, I ain't seen that signature before, so how did that happen? Yeah? So that happened now. So what the board done was, watch the mad thing. They had me in the boxing board court, the day before my fight. In what world would you ever think that would happen? They had me, so I had to travel to London the day before my fight, the British title. I had to travel to London on the train. I had to get on there with all these smelly people, get in the freaking cab, get all the way, underground. It was underground, all the way there, sit in their lobby for God knows how long, then go in the room. All that was probably like 4 hours just getting there, yeah? Imagine I'm in the room. Now check the biggest piss take of it all. You're not going to ever see this coming, yeah? I've got this evidence, yeah? I've shown, cool. I didn't do none of that, whatever. I didn't sign it, but I wasn't even in the country. Check what they done. So after bringing me down there, arguing for about an hour, the boxing board said, all right, we're not going to get this solved here today. So we're gonna call another hearing a week after the fight. But, by them calling another hearing the week after the fight, what does that mean? that means that Mickey's still on paper, what?
Your
My manager.
Yeah.
Which means then that Mickey will have to get
a pay.
Oh, so he gets paid because it happens after the fight, right? Yeah? So he's getting paid for that. But I've done all of this communications. I've been managing myself. It's in your law books, what you lot have written, saying that a fighter cannot manage himself unless he's a manager or he does his manager's license, yeah? But I was managing myself for like the whole camp. I can't remember if it was 7 or 8 weeks, but from the start of that camp, me and Mickey weren't like, we didn't talk to him. He was blocked. Like, it weren't even civil. To a point where he was putting up posts saying, I hope Cheeseman stops him in this round. So imagine how not civil it was. But the board done all of that, took me into their room. So not only have they kept me out the ring for 2 years, between them all, they've all kept me out the ring for 2 years. They've then brought me back. All right, cool, now you're fighting Cheeseman. Then they've got me in the courtroom the day before the fight. Literally, like, who does that? In what world?
Yeah.
They would never have Cheeseman doing that. Never.
Do you reckon they're influenced by the promoter quite a bit?
Oh, yeah, 100%. They all put money in each other's pockets, isn't it? The boxing board, the big promoters put money in the boxing board's pockets. Like, obviously, they're gonna have their little, we wouldn't normally do this, but it's you, so go on then. Yeah, get our little, who knows about the backhand paychecks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's real, man. It's the real world we're living in. So this stuff, to be fair, it is expected. Like, you can't even really be mad about it.
But you saw the Conor Benn situation, right?
Yeah.
Where that kicked off. That was, to be fair, to British board, I mean, there's a lot of stuff uncovering all the time in there. But I guess in that instance, they stood their ground. They're like, no, we're not letting this fight go ahead.
Now, that, you can say that to a certain degree, yeah? But why weren't he suspended immediately whilst investigation was going on? Do you see that? They left him with a way out. He shouldn't have been able to give in to cancel his license, He shouldn't have been able to do that. But, like, come on, bro. Trust me, this is all...
It looks a bit embarrassing to the British board that he's given his license before they've taken it away from him.
Yeah, but they don't mind. They don't mind because they probably got paid for that too. Like, all they're doing now is trying to save the little bit of respect and morals that other fighters like me are going to sit there like, but I already know, I'm not an idiot. Like, come on, it don't take rocket science. If that was me in Conor Benn's position, if I was to do what he done right now and get them same checks, bro, I'm banned before I get home, before I even get to my car and open the door, I'm going to see stuff on the internet saying Asinia, like the post, everyone's already knows. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to be ringing me up. Asinia, man, why are you eating so many eggs? I saw you're suspended, man. Like, you're going to be ringing me up, like, busting jokes about it.
Yeah.
How the hell can they have such a big The fight was millions, yeah? The fight alone for millions. The boxing board weren't able to sit there and be like, well, what can Conor do to get out of this? Well, yeah, he could just cancel his license with us, and then he could just go to like one of the freaking WBA, WBC, and then just try and fight for their belts in a different country on a different license, where it's okay. Go to blooming, what's it called? Dubai,
Saudi Arabia, where all the money's going there.
Because that's where everything happens. If you've got money, it'll run in Dubai, it'll run over there. Like, yeah, man, it's all set, man. The game's it's fixed. Like I said before, I'm not supposed to be here. So me being on their TV, me being as loose with my mouth as I am, me being as I don't give a... They don't like it, and they're never going to like it. And that's why a lot of the promoters and a lot of them people, they will shy away from me. They will only try to use me. But now I'm like, cool, I'm here to be used. Come, let's go. But they're always going to be scared in the back of their mind, like, right, this guy might turn me over one day because he ain't got that. He ain't got that quitting. He ain't got that. So, yeah, if there's going to be an upset, you better know it's going to be me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why no one will fight me. Watch. I guarantee you I'll get made mandatory for either the English or the British, yeah? Either eliminator or a final or something. And I guarantee you, pull out.
this is a warrior sport, right? This is what we've been brought up on. If you got if I'm gonna have a fight, it don't matter who it is. I'm gonna see who's the better man.
Yeah.
I guess this is the business side of things, right? It's the money side, it's the dirty side of boxing where this sort of happens. I really hope you get a big fight, man, or even get a recognised fight because you deserve it now. One of these guys give you an opportunity, and then it's just up to you.
Yeah, literally.
It's just up to you to do it, man.
Just got to get in there. Like, it's just a lot of adversity. I've had to always fight against the adversities.
I think we've heard a little bit about your story today, and do you know what? It's been really eye-opening for me how the sport really works and your life in itself, man.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you for coming on, man.
No, man, that's cool. That's cool.
Thank you very much for coming on, man. Is there anyone else that you'd like to call out before we go?
Oh, I'm so bad at these. I'm so bad.
Come on, man.
Give my coach John Edwards a shout out. We got Tank, Thomas Jarvis. Shout out. We got Cam from Iron Fist. Shout out. We got my main man Jason Hyde.
Waiting outside, man. Thank you for Jason.
He sat there looking at me there.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out all the people that supported me all the way to where I am now. Shout out to family and friends that stuck by me. And yeah, shout out all them waste man that don't want to fight. I'll big you up too.
Which ones don't want to fight? Any recent ones?
There's not been many recent. I did call out Hamza Shiraz when he was my weight.
Oh, okay. Has he gone up to middleweight now?
Yeah, he gone up to middleweight now. He didn't want no smoke. He did not want no smoke.
After him struggling against Bradley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, a little bit against Bradley, but
yeah, that would have been a good fight though, because we're close as well. So he's like, I think he's originally from like the Slough area.
Yeah, I think so.
So it would have been, because I know a lot of his people, so we're all friends like around. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So that would have been a good little one. But yeah, freaking. Yeah, who else have I been?
Got McKinson down at a weight below.
Yeah, McKinson, he's cool as well. I was up here doing work with him for one of his fights, 2 fights.
Good fighter?
Yeah. He's good southpaw, man. Very neat. Not spectacularly exciting, but he gets the job done. He's very efficient. Neat. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Pigford, I want him.
He's based in Southampton.
Yeah.
Big puncher.
Yeah, I want him.
Is he 16 knockouts, something like that?
He's got bad knockouts, yeah, but all journeymen though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a bit scared to step up. He's been fighting journeymen since the get-go.
But he was on Boxer recently, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a great platform maybe to reach out to. Benn Shalom, if you're watching this.
Come on.
Get our man on there.
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Any fight you got, any guy you want to go and beat up, let me know. I'm down.
Asinia, thank you very much, brother. Thank you for coming down, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Guys, looking forward to the next one. Cheers.
Yeah. All right, respect.